Hello and welcome to another review. Actually, this is not a review, this is a prediction. Game of Thrones ending prediction. If you have not watched the Game of Thrones, dude, what are you doing with your life? You have 3 days to binge watch the whole thing. It's amazing. Pause this video and start watching. I promise you, my friend, this is one of the best TV shows you will ever watch. Second only to the greatest TV series of all time, Breaking Bad. Am I right, Mr. White?
You're goddamn right.
Alright, so how do we analyze this? First, let me give you the whole prediction. Jon Snow will die, Daenerys will kill him, the battle with the White Walker will produce a lot of dead people, the Golden Company with Euron Greyjoy will ambush the remaining forces of the Northern Allegiance, that's Stannis and Jon's army, but Jaime Lannister will fight off the Golden Army and die in the process. And the remaining forces of the Northern Allegiance will lay siege to King's Landing. But Tyrion will save Cersei. That's right. And Cersei will die from childbirth. Yeah. Bran will live to be the Three-Eyed Raven, but will lose his humanity after the war, much like what happened to the Three-Eyed Raven. Arya will live and would probably marry Gendry, Sansa will die, and everyone else, the Hound, Brienne, Davos, the Mountain, Qyburn, most of the secondary characters will die from the war. The son of Jon Snow and Dany will marry the daughter of Cersei and Jaime, and they will be the new monarch of the new world. Let's start with the secondary characters. Most of the people who will fight the war will die. This much is true because the author George R.R. Martin always wanted to show his readers that war doesn't bring you any good. All it brings is death. Case in point, the first war of the North versus the Lannister. A lot of people died and it culminated in the Red Wedding. I think the creators of the show will follow suit with this George R.R. mentality towards war. Alright, let's talk about the Stark kids. Let's start with Bran. His fate is kind of sealed. Most likely, he will end up to be like his mentor. That's it. Before we go to Arya and Sansa, let's take in the writing style of George R.R. Martin. Martin uses a lot of realism in his writing, meaning not every heroic deeds will result to a good thing, and some bad things are rewarded. The show is beyond the books now, and the creators of the TV show is mostly working with the guidelines from George R.R., meaning that they are still following the philosophy of realism from George R.R.'s writing. Check this out. When Olenna Tyrell was about to die, she confesses to Jaime that she was the one who killed Joffrey. She can't suffer no more because she's dead, but effectively got away with the murder of Joffrey. Although her intentions were good for her daughter Marjorie, Cersei had other plans and destroyed the whole House Tyrell in a single stroke. Not all good intentions will yield good results, and vice versa. Or should I say, this is what you call the subversion of expectation. You're going to expect something, but it's going to be totally different. And with that in mind, let's talk about the fate of the sisters Arya and Sansa. Arya was trained by the Faceless Men, specifically Jaqen H'ghar, who is essentially working with the God of Death, the Many-Faced God. And if you don't kill a specific target given by the Faceless Man, you need to pay for it with your life. Arya has been doing a lot of killing this past season. And how twisted can it get when the Many-Faced God or the God of Death chooses Sansa as the payment for all the people she killed? And if you know one thing about Arya, Arya does not want to be the Lady of Winterfell. With the death of Sansa, she has no choice but to be the Lady of Winterfell, or what is left of it. And this is where Gendry comes into play. I think they would become the new lady and the new lord of Winterfell. Clegane Bowl, Mountain versus the Hound, they would kill each other. Brienne will probably die protecting the Stark kid. Davos will die because the character is pretty redundant once Dany and Jon marries each other, but there is still something lingering. What about the reveal that Jon and Dany are related? Remember that Jon is an honorable man, much like Ned Stark. It could be the case that his honor will supersede her love for Dany. But remember that we are at war right now, and Jon is known to break vows for love. So this might be an Ingrid moment once again, but of course, this is next level because Dany is his aunt. Now let's go to the Lannister siblings. We know that Cersei is going to betray everyone with the Golden Company, but Jaime's army will subdue the Golden Company. The Northern Army and Dany's remaining army will be severely depleted because of the Night King's attack and the Golden Company. But ultimately, Jaime's army will defeat the Golden Company, causing them to retreat. This is where Jaime dies, becoming the hero that he always wanted to be. This is his redemption arc. The remaining forces of the Northern Allegiance will siege King's Landing, but there would be a very big twist. Remember the prophecy of Maggie the Witch? The Valonqar will kill Cersei. But instead of Tyrion killing Cersei, it would be Tyrion protecting her sister because she is pregnant with Jaime's baby, as Tywin Lannister says.
The house that puts family first will always defeat the house that puts the whims and wishes of its sons and daughters first. A good man does everything in his power to better his family's position, regardless of his own selfish desires.
Tyrion will beg off the life of her sister for his own, and Cersei will die from childbirth because Valonqar is neither Jaime nor Tyrion. The translation for Valonqar is the youngest child, as in the youngest child of Cersei. Check this out. For years, Azor Ahai's gender was male, the prince that was promised, but it was revealed that Azor Ahai is actually genderless. It could be the prince that was promised or the princess that was promised. I think the word Valonqar is also translated to the youngest child, hence the gender could be male or female. Now this is important because if the gender is female, it could be the case that the child will marry the child of Dany and Jon, and they will be the new rulers of the new world. Because that's right, Dany is pregnant with the baby of Jon, and that is why Jon is going to break his vows once again, since Dany is carrying his child. So why male and not female? Because it's thematic, it makes sense. It's the logical gender story-wise that Jon and Dany's baby can have. Plus all the dragons are male, so why not this? My ultimate theory is this. The Night King wants to die. He wants to rest in peace. This is why he is trying so goddamn hard to find a child to replace his place as the new Night King. See, check this out. He is trying to convert all the babies from Craster's Keep to find a suitable replacement as the new Night King for decades now. He is looking for the son of fire and ice. And the son of Jon and Dany is the perfect child to replace him. But Jon Snow is such an honorable guy that he would not let anything happen to his wife and child. He too is the child of fire and ice. Remember the reveal of his lineage? His parents are Rhaegar Targaryen and Lyanna Stark. Fire and ice. Jon Snow will replace the Night King, and the only one who can kill him is Azor Ahai. In this case, the princess that was promised, Daenerys Targaryen. And the only way to defeat the Night King is to summon the sword Lightbringer. To summon Lightbringer, the first Azor Ahai plunges the sword into the heart of his wife, Nissa. But in this case, Azor Ahai is Dany. She will plunge Longclaw into the heart of the new Night King, Jon Snow, hence summoning the new Lightbringer, ending the war and effectively ending all the White Walkers in the world in perpetuity. Jon Snow is the ultimate hero. He saves the world, his wife and child, but all in the expense of his life. Queen Daenerys with his son from Jon Snow will rule the new world with Tyrion and his niece, the daughter of Jaime and Cersei. All thanks to Jon Snow, the hero of the new world. But hey, that's just a prediction. A Nico David prediction. And cut. Oops, parang may ginaya. Shoutouts po kay Matpat, joke lang.